Hello there and welcome to the review of Liverpool versus Arsenal, where we ended up running out as 4-0 winners against Arsenal at Anfield in what was a very, very good performance by Liverpool in general. And just, I thought it was an exceptional performance by some players as well. But overall, I was just really happy, to get the clean sheet. I always think a clean sheet can help breed confidence, more confidence throughout the defence and the goalkeeper as well, and also throughout the rest of the team. But I felt that it was a really quite a complete performance, especially after Arteta decided to try and pick a fight with Jurgen Klopp. Massive mistake in my opinion. Honestly, don't try and pick don't pick a fight with someone like Jurgen Klopp, who will give it back to you tenfold verbally. And I imagine also, I actually think that in general, if there was going to be a fight happen between Jurgen Klopp and Arteta, that Jurgen Klopp would win, just purely based on the fact that Arteta does not want his hair touched, moved at all, not in the slightest. He would back down so quick, the fight probably wouldn't even happen. Anyway, in the preview to this game, I was very wary of Arsenal. And I think I was right to be wary of Arsenal in some ways as well. But I need to work on not being so easy to be negative about Liverpool. And Liverpool, the team that I love and that I support. And I think, again, I think I've said it in one of the comments to my previous video, and I'd said I am quite quick to, that West Ham result was weighing quite heavily on me, as well as, we had like the Brighton result as well, and stuff like that. And it was weighing heavily on me. West Ham are a decent team, well-drilled team, and they are doing really, really well themselves. They deserve their victory over us. I also need to recognise that we are a world-class team with world-class players in it, and they showed it today with the lineup. The lineup was actually bang on what I'd said in my preview, and I don't think there was really many other changes that you could make with the injuries that we've got at the moment, especially in midfield. But the lineup I felt was really, really good. I'll quickly go through it now. Alisson in goal, Trent, Matip, Virgil van Dijk, who was captain on the day. Tsimikas at left back, leaving Andy Robertson was he on the bench? I don't think he was on the bench. I think he was actually out of the squad completely, which is fair enough. If he wasn't ready to play, give him the rest that he deserves. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho, Thiago as well, who as a combo, all three of those players in the midfield, I felt, especially Oxlade-Chamberlain in the second half, but the other two throughout the whole game, I felt that they played really, really well, really composed, really helped win the midfield battles. The middle of the park is where games can be won and lost quite easily. And if you've got players like Fabinho, Thiago, Oxlade-Chamberlain, or Jordan Henderson, or whoever else might be in there, I always think as long as we've got Fabinho in there, you can almost put anyone else either side of him. And that, I think, generally rings quite true. I think if we bring Fabinho out, apart from maybe the odd game here or there where Henderson might play in the sixth position as the defensive mid, if we don't have Fabinho in the team, I get a little bit worried. That's just me, probably me being, again, overreactive in some ways. But yeah, I felt that they did really, really well, marshalled the midfield, which we were coming up against Thomas Partey and Lokonga. Yes, that was them. Smith Rowe and Saka as well on the wider parts of the midfield, with Lacazette and Aubameyang being the more forwards, if you will. I felt they dealt with everything very, very well. We had Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, and Salah up front as well, and each of them getting goals. And Minamino comes off the bench and scores a good goal as well. Well-worked team goal as well. This was a great performance by Liverpool. Really fantastic performance by Liverpool. We've got a Champions League game on Wednesday. That doesn't matter. And I'm hoping, really, really hoping that we do see some rotation in there so that we can have a chance of keeping these guys fit as well. Because Jota actually had to go off because he's received a knock. And Jurgen Klopp, to this moment right now at 20-3 on Sunday, is still waiting on whether it's going to be a serious injury or not. But it's just, again, it's not another injury that we need. I am hoping that we get some rotation in the Champions League because we stay top of our group no matter what happens. If we got beat 10-0 in both of our last two games, we would still be top of the group anyway. So I felt it was very composed. It was very, very equal in some ways, right up until Jurgen Klopp and Arteta had their little tete-a-tete, as they would probably call it. They had their little, spat on the touchline, and all it was is Sadio Mane has gone up for a header, and I think it was against Gabriel, or I think it was Gabriel. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be honest with you. Gone up for a header. Arsenal player's gone down, and Arteta's wanting something like either a yellow card or something a bit more serious for Sadio Mane. And honestly, hand on heart, it is literally just a coming together of two players going for the same ball. I don't think there was any maliciousness in there. People are calling it the dark arts that Sadio Mane was doing. For me, the dark arts are done by one person on the entire planet, maybe two. Secondly, I would say, Ronaldo is a bit like that. But first player that comes to mind whenever people talk about the dark arts is Neymar. That's who I think, literally, I think I could walk past Neymar in the street, maybe bump a shoulder or something like that, and that dude's going to be rolling all over the floor, everywhere. Or you could talk about Atletico Madrid as well, their entire team. They're kind of built like that as well. If you just go, they're gone. You're probably going to get a yellow card, maybe risk a sending off, risk a penalty, whatever. That's what I consider dark arts. This was nothing to do with the dark arts of football. It was an absolute nothing thing. Arteta absolutely loses his head at Anfield. Now, bearing in mind, it wasn't the most electric game by this point either. It really, really wasn't the most electric game. He sparked Anfield into life by absolutely lighting a fuse under Jurgen Klopp, who, like I said before, he could take Arteta 100%. 10 times out of 10, Klopp is winning against Arteta. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, he's younger. Doesn't matter. Honestly, doesn't matter. Since that moment in the game, it really sparked something in Liverpool. And not long after, they actually both got yellow cards as well. Not long after, Trent fires a fantastic free kick into Sadio Mane. Now, Sadio Mane, I don't actually know how tall he is, but I don't imagine him being, he'll be taller than me because, who isn't? I'm 5'8". I can imagine him being maybe 5'10", 5'11", something like that. And he's in between the two centre-backs of Arsenal. And yes, it is an absolutely accurate pinpoint free kick from Trent. And to be fair, Mane didn't even really have to jump that much for it. If you're going to target anyone as a free kick taker, surely you're going to be targeting Virgil van Dijk because that's who, a big physical presence, one of the biggest players on the pitch alongside Joel Matip as well. But no, clearly, and I do believe that Trent has aimed for Sadio Mane, gone in the back of the net, 1-0, and it was just, for me, I knew we were sort of set on our way then because there were some troubling moments that Arsenal gave us where Alisson's been called into action a little bit, and Ramsdale is a very, very good goalkeeper. It has to be said. He made some exceptional saves. Right, exceptional is not the word. That literally just came to mind. He made some good saves with shots that were kind of straight at him as well. He's made some good saves, solid saves that maybe someone like a Leno doesn't make, but nothing out of the ordinary that I would expect those to possibly be saved or at least challenged in some way. We get into the second half and Jota, what an assist! What an assist from Tavares as well. Incredible assist. Really, really nicely passed through to Diogo Jota. And Jota just is able to channel himself and his inner Bobby Firmino as well. And just dance around the defence, dance around the goalkeeper, put it in the back of the net for 2-0. And I knew straight away, this was a different game with us being at 2-0. That I knew we were going to see this game out. There's some games where we've been 2-0 up and I'm just we need to get a third. And it's just had that. This game felt a little bit different. This game felt like we were going to go on, maybe score more, but we were going to see out this game. And most likely we weren't going to concede any goals either. And you know what? We didn't. We didn't concede any goals. They made some substitutions, brought on Odegaard and Ainsley Maitland-Niles for Lokonga and Lacazette, respectively. They made those changes within 10 minutes of each other, and then literally 5 minutes later, Salah Mane gets an assist for Salah. Really nicely worked. I think this was the one where it was Jota has literally half volleyed it with his head. Really powerful header as well when you think about it. If you go and look at the play, it doesn't look like it should be that powerful a header, but it looks like it's bounced like a bouncy ball off a wall, and he's headed it into the path of Sadio Mane, who has literally put it in front of him with just enough pace that he's going to get on the end of it. Defenders aren't going to get there. Keeper's not going to be able to come out for it. Puts it across for Salah. Salah puts it in the back of the net for 3-0. And then literally 4 minutes later, Minamino comes on for Jota. Henderson has come on for Oxlade-Chamberlain at this point as well. And within a minute of being on the pitch, first touch, Minamino puts it in the back of the net with a pass, a cross goal. Beautiful one from Trent as well. 2 assists on the day for him, and a really nicely taken goal by Minamino. Right in, it's just fantastic. Really, really good to see Minamino getting on the score sheet, because I really enjoy watching Minamino play and grow with Liverpool. I do believe that he warrants more minutes with Liverpool, and I hope that he does get them. Maybe he's going to get a start in the Champions League. I'd really love to see that as well. And then on the 84th minute, Thiago comes off with no concerns, and young Tyler Morton gets on the pitch and makes his debut in the Premier League for Liverpool as well. And it's really great. I know we put out a really, really young bench. So I'm going to go through the bench as well. The most notable ones we had on there, experience-wise, would be Minamino, Henderson, Konate, Kelleher, and Nat Phillips, and the other guys being Owen Beck, Connor Bradley, Cade Gordon, and Tyler Morton, who was the one who actually made it onto the pitch as well. People were complaining about this bench as well. There's not much else that we could do. There just isn't. There wasn't anything else that we could do when we had Harvey Elliott out, Milner's out, Curtis Jones is out, Joe Gomez is out, Naby Keita's out, Firmino's out, Henderson was a doubt but he was on the bench, Robertson out, and also Divock Origi out. You cannot formulate a stronger bench than when you've got all these players that are out with injury. So the complaints there were really silly. Like, even some of them from, like, I think it was Redmen TV, and I really like those guys as well. Redmen TV and This Is Anfield as well were saying about, like, this bench is a really young bench. Where do you want him to magic up like first team level squad players from? He's put these guys in, and you know what? When Klopp has faith in players, I have faith in them as well, and it's well placed. Yes, he only got like 6 minutes and added time as well, but it's good for him to get on the pitch in a game when you're 4-0 up. There's no better time for a young player to come onto the pitch, make his debut, and get a good feel of what it's like to be in a winning environment against an Arsenal team that was very resurgent. You know, they've had a tough start. I think they lost their opening 3 games of the season. They've had a very good start. I think they're still, as of right now, they're still 5th in the league. With Wolves and Man United behind, but I might mention a little something about Man United at the end of this video. I might, I mean, not really relevant, but even so, Arsenal are still 5th at this moment in time. We are currently 3rd as it stands right now, because Manchester City have gone in front against whoever they're playing. I can't remember, Everton. They've gone in front of Everton on that one. I think it's just gone half time as well. But we did go 2nd yesterday. We are now currently 3rd, with West Ham behind us, because West Ham actually lost against Wolves yesterday as well. So yeah, Arsenal, I don't think they've really got any complaints, like where they could be doing a little bit better. I personally, if I was going to give my opinion on Arsenal and where they need to improve or what changes they need to make, it's probably going to be more changes for the future, like what they could possibly maybe do it in January, but more look at the summer. And what I mean is, looking at Aubameyang and looking at Lacazette, I think those are 2 players that, they are good players. They can be dangerous players on their day. They are dangerous players more now against teams that are a level below Liverpool, a Man City, a Chelsea. They're dangerous players against like lower in the leagues, teams and stuff like that. I don't think they're really going to have it to go up against, and I could be wrong. You know, they could come out one time and go against like a Man United or something, or a Man City, and put some goals past them or whatever. I don't personally see it. Do they really go full Project Youth and bring on the likes of maybe put like a Balogun up front, or I can't remember the other lad, Eddie Nketiah, is he still at Arsenal? I don't actually know. That's something that I would maybe be looking at as well, because I think they've got a good foundation with like quite a solid back line, apart from obviously coming up against Liverpool. The goalkeeper's decent. The Tomiyasu is a decent player as well, will only grow into this league. Gabriel as well. Ben White. I don't know who they're. Kieran Tierney as their native left back. Obviously, Tavares has had a really tough game against Liverpool, but he's not. I don't think left back is his native position, but I'm not sure. Midfield, they've got a young midfield as well, alongside having like a Thomas Partey and stuff like that. Hopefully, they maybe, for Arsenal's sake, they maybe get rid of like a Granit Xhaka in future or something like that, whatever. And then you've got the likes of a Saka, a Smith Rowe, maybe a Balogun, and an Nketiah. The progression is there for Arsenal to go forward, and maybe, I don't want to say binning off, but like moving on the likes of an Aubameyang, especially. I think Lacazette could still play a role, but Aubameyang is very literally like, he needs to be in the box and he needs to have the service in the box or just outside the box. Other than that, you're not going to get a lot from him. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on Arsenal anyway. Very, very pleased for Liverpool. Fingers crossed that Jota isn't injured like for too long, or at least hopefully that maybe he'll miss the Champions League game midweek and be ready for the next Premier League game as well. But I'm very pleased for Liverpool. I cannot criticise any part of it whatsoever. It was a very, very flawless game, a very good response to obviously having the international break and the loss that we had to West Ham as well. A very, very good response by Liverpool, and I was very pleased to see it as well. Really, really pleased. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Liverpool game anyway. Let's touch on obviously the big subject that is pretty much what everyone's talking about right now, and the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked by Manchester United, and obviously anyone who isn't a Man United fan is gutted because he was doing great. He was fantastic. Oh man, I can't remember the last time, apart from when we just did it in the Premier League, when we put 5 goals past past Man United. It was great. Salah getting the first hat-trick by an opposing player since since original Ronaldo in 2003, I think it was, for Real Madrid. Like, it was great. You could have given the guy a bit more time, but there could be light at the end of the tunnel, because it apparently seems to be that they're going to be keeping all of the coaching staff, just not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, hey, things might still just turn out to be exactly the same, which, fingers crossed, as a Liverpool fan, let's hope that it is anyway. That's all I've got to say about that for now anyway, because I could not care less about Manchester United whatsoever. It's all about Liverpool, onwards and upwards. Got Champions League coming on Wednesday, so there'll be a preview coming out on Tuesday. But for now, do take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of Sunday. Enjoy whatever you're doing. If you're watching the rest of the football, or if you're going to be watching Grand Prix, whatever it might be, or if you're just going to be chilling out, do take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you as well, and feel good, do good, be good, and I will catch you guys later.